Good morning. We have been invited to say a few words about why we support this church. In the 90s, Mary and I were living in Panama, where I was an Army physician. We had adopted two babies, Robin and Leon, who many of you may know from the church. And I was curious about finding a religious home for our growing family. We explored the Baha'i faith in Panama. Is one of only 7 Baha'i temples in the entire world. It's beautiful, serene, wonderful place. But I wanted more than just a serene temple. After Panama, we moved to San Antonio, where we began a more serious quest for a religious home for our family. Me from the perspective of a disenchanted Methodist, Mary as a lapsed Catholic who was totally disinterested in organized religion. I had recalled an episode from the TV series MASH when great reference, right? Where Colonel Potter mentioned that a fellow soldier was very reasonable and declared, "He must be a Unitarian." That seemed reasonable to me, too. So searching online, I discovered the 7 UU principles, shared them with Mary, and we set about to poke holes in what seemed almost too good to be true beliefs.
So Clark was the one searching for the religious home, not me, just to clarify that. So after going through the list of principles, I was unable to make use of my mental red pencil to cross out any of them. We moved here in 1998. Clark seemed determined to have a church home in Bloomington. I decided to go along with him as I knew Al Strickholm, a mentor from undergrad years at IU, was a member. I was surprised when I found my heart broken open by the UU Sunday service. There was something about Sue Swaney, who sang a solo that first day that I was here, and the beautiful music she led. Within that first year, we were attending services regularly and truly feeling at home.
We were warmly embraced by this congregation, became members, religious educators, and board members. The youth here were what ultimately convinced us that we were in our religious home. While facilitating an Our Whole Lives sexuality education class for middle schoolers, and I hope you guys know what that is, it's a very intensive opportunity for middle schoolers to find out about sexuality in a way that's friendly and life-enhancing. We were asked by John Kulo and Taryn Marks if we were going to take our kids to summer assembly. We had no idea what it was, but we're interested to hear more from these youth who insisted that we take our kids to a summer church camp. Imagine that, 15-year-old kid saying, "You got to take your kids to summer church camp." That was 2000, and we've been there every year since. The entire Unitarian Universal experience has enriched our lives and those of our family in the most meaningful of ways. We give until, in the words of retired minister Bill Brittain, we give until it feels good. We give so that others may share in this love and likewise be warmly embraced with a liberal religious home.
I am glad that Clark did his online search for a religious home, although I did not see the value at the time. Our daughter and son appreciate the value of the UU community, and they know what to expect at a UU gathering, wherever that may be, acceptance and respect for who they are. I so appreciate our UU church as a community of people who work together in so many ways, such as providing religious education to our children. As one early founder told us at a 1999 fellowship dinner, we thought it important to provide religious education to our children, as we did not want them to be learning about religion on the street. So true, really. I've been so enriched by the young people of our congregation who I've had the privilege to teach. I've been so inspired, stimulated, and challenged by the task force leaders such as David Keppel of the Just Peace Task Force, Stephanie Kimball and Marcia Veldman of the Green Sanctuary Task Force, and Phil Cooper of the Rainbow Rights Task Force, to name just a very few. The church gives these dedicated individuals and so many others a community to work with in so many important ways to change the world. We continue to financially support this church every year so that it will remain and thrive in our community, so that it will be here as an ever-freshening fountain for those who thirst for community for themselves and their children, so that the Sunday services will continue to inspire and challenge. And to support our ministers, Senior Minister Mary Ann Macklin, Interim Minister Douglas Watkins, and Minister of Religious Education Emily Manville Light, so that they too can be refreshed and be able to continue to serve this congregation. Thank you.